Thank you for watching. If you're watching replay, let me know. And if you're watching the YouTube, come say hi. My name is Sahari, if you never met me before. Today, we're going to talk about how you can turn around negativity in your head, emotion. I call inner bitch. And then turn this around and start to living really good place. That's what I'm doing. And if you never met me before, nice to meet you, virtually hug. And I am a manifestation mentor, helping everybody to create the life that you really, truly want. I so believing in you. Even though you're not believing yourself yet, my genius or my superpower is I can actually see people's potential, people's limitation also, even though that person cannot see it. So that's my genius zone. That's my superpower. By doing so, I can help you guys to start to believing in yourself and then start to releasing all the self-doubt and start to live that you truly want. So here, reason why I decided to do this today is this. Last week, I don't know you watched my Facebook Live last week, and also you can watch it in YouTube now. Facebook is hard to find it, so go on YouTube and find it, and make sure subscribe, pretty please. Reason why I decided to do this is last week when after I did the live, the video, I really felt, oh my God, that was awful. That was shocking. That was so bad. No one would understand. What a stupid video. I started to beating myself up for no reason. And then I thought, so problem is for that is not only make you feel crap, but also for me, I don't know about you, tell me how you feel about this, but every time I beat myself up like that, it's affecting a lot of in my life. Say for that moment, I started to kind of like really angry to myself. So that irritation showing to my kids, like I started to irritating to my kids and started to really annoying. When Richard called me in the middle of something, I get really annoyed. So it's really not helping anyone. Not only me affecting it, but also helping no one really. So for example, you maybe started to feeling like really annoyed towards your husband. Maybe you wanted to do, you may be building your business and you have to show up in writing the good copy or started to do channel like this and you started to get really freaking out. One, you're not going to make anything from that place. And two, also you're affecting a lot of different areas of your life. So I really want you to watch that and it started to turning around every time showing up. So here is what you can do. First step you have to do is really have to aware of this. I always said that, you guys, right? Step one for everything is be aware of that. So unless you are living in an intentional living, like YOUZen life, if you're living in such an autopilot way, you probably won't be able to find this. So here is a very easy way to figure it out. So your emotion is always changing, right? Changing, good place, bad place, annoying, negative, and you always changing that. Not many people, I don't think, is in a peace and a calm place all the time. That's quite unrealistic, right? Unless you're living in, I don't know, you are monks or something, and then maybe easy. But, we watch TV, we watch news. I don't, but most of you guys probably do. And you got kids or you got, friends, negative friends, and we always affected by someone else's negativity as well. And it make you think not only your head, but outside of you affecting you too. So first thing you can do, you started to really realize it, I'm not really feel good about this. Is it feeling good or bad? That's all you have to judge it. There is no such a thing, a negative mindset really. It's literally just judge like a GPS. I want you to think as a GPS. So once you realize it, okay, I'm not really feel good about this thought, so for me, my case, I created the thought of I didn't do a good job of it. I shouldn't do this anymore. I'm not the great coach. That coach is better than me. All that sort of negativity pop in my mind. I just have to first catch it, right? Because that thought creating yucky emotion, not going to be happy emotion, it will be unhappy emotion. It's quite simple. So once you started to feeling, oh, I don't like this feeling, that's a first step, right? And then once you realize that first step, second step you have to do is, this is the work you need to do. So not necessarily you can do this work on that spot. Not necessarily. Always you cannot do that. But if that emotion hung around for too long, I want you to really make 5 minutes. This is only going to take 5 minutes, I promise. I want you to make 5 minutes, then do this work in later on. Because maybe you felt that angry feeling when you are driving and then you cannot really do this work. So you can do that later. But don't miss it, this particular work, because you are too busy, you are do this, you do that, because this is a really important part of the work. So once you realize that, I want you to really sit and write down that all the negative thought you come up with. I want you to write it down. So for example, for my case, I felt I am not good enough. I felt other coaches better. Why people choose me? No one gonna listen to me. I am a shit in the video. I am not really good at speaking clearly and all that sort of thing. I write everything up. Okay. So for example, maybe you have something what husband say that to you or did it to you. You didn't like it. Like this has happened quite a bit for me too. Sometimes like a man, like husband or partner or whatever, we kind of often say, why can't you say, why do I have to tell you to do this? Right? We do this every single day. Why can't you say? I want you to say without me saying it. Have you ever experienced this? Hope this is only not me. Once you recognize that and you started to get really annoyed, right? So I want you to write it down on a piece of paper to say, I feel like he doesn't understand me. I feel like I make me feel angry. He never understands me. He never listened to me. He's an idiot, whatever, whatever coming up to maybe he doesn't love me. Maybe we shouldn't be together, like going so that far. I sometimes does that. Write it all down. Okay. Third step you have to do is, I want you to go back each sentence you wrote. I want you to read it again to ask this question. Is this true or is this not true? And I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee you that is not true. You made it up. You made it up. So for example, for me, nobody actually came to message me to say, Saho, your video was shit. Nobody said that. Nobody said. Actually, I got a lot of comment about, oh, that was so wonderful. I definitely follow your YouTube. And thank you so much for supporting and all that. I got that. But in my head was, in my inner bitch saying completely different thing, right? So until you ask that, especially for someone else involved, this, that example case is a husband, unless you ask the husband to say, hey, did you really don't love me anymore? Or do you know what you need to do? Until you ask that question, it's all about your assumption. And you killing yourself with that assumption not necessarily true. Yeah? So I want you to really ask this question yourself, is this true or not? Then probably all that not true, right? And once you ask that question, I want you to do this. I want you to physically cross it off. Nah, that was not true. That was not true. I want you to cross it off each of the things you wrote it down in a piece of paper. Okay? Then once that finished, you realize almost like you can do this in your head, that's no problem. But what I found is when you use that only in the head, you only, I don't know, only mixing those emotions in the head. It's not really releasing out of the body, but soon coming out from your head onto the paper, and you looking at your eyes, you saying in your mouth to say, that's not true, that's bullshit. Then it's make more sense in your head clearly to say, okay, this is a stupid thing to believe. I gotta let go of that. Then I want you to rip it. Rip it to tiny, tiny pieces. You can burn it if you want to. And then you can put in a bin. But make sure that bin you putting into that piece of paper into the bin. Make sure that bin is not something sitting on there for days and days. So I want you to go into outside the bin, wherever the bin has that go away from your home as soon as possible. That sort of bin, I want you to chuck it, unless you burn it or something. Because you energetically attached to the negative emotion still. So I don't want you to that's keep in the house. That's what I mean by that. Then once that's done, I want you to think, all right, now, what do I want to believe instead of this? I want you to really ask this question. What would I want to believe instead of this? Yeah. So my case, I am amazing coach. I create awesome results with my clients. That's actually true. So I have to realign that belief again. Maybe for the husband story I was talking about example before, and they said, no, we're creating amazing relationship. I want to speak up my needs honestly with love to him. So you can be very confident to speak up your truth. Then you started to communicating better. Does it make sense? So that's what I want you to do. This is only take less than 5 minutes, and then you're gonna change your the negative emotion, negative mindset, just like this. I promise. Then here is the thing is about mind. We constantly thinking, right? Good thinking or bad, positive thinking or negative thinking. Always we thinking. So in this case, is negative thoughts, right? Negative thoughts only create negative emotion. That's what I mean by that GPS. You started feeling yucky in your body, like, oh, I don't like this feeling, right? Then what happens is, if you're not aware of this negative emotion, what your body does is you take action from this negative emotion. So if you have the thought about it, like your husband not supporting you, then you feel like yucky about it. Then what happens is you may be taking action from those resentment place, and you get started to argue with husband, right? So what I want you to do, reverse this. I want you to think about it. All right, what sort of positive action you wanted to take? So in this, for example, for my case, I wanted to be really confident in front of the camera. I want to be clear about my message so you guys can get benefit from my message or my teaching or my lesson through YouTube or Facebook. So in order to have that, what sort of emotion I have to be what sort of thought I need to create. I want you to reverse this, right? So that's the work about. So if you're living in the very autopilot place, you cannot do that. So first step you must do is start to practicing be in a present moment. Okay, so that's the first practice. So how's that? If you have any question, please ask me down below or comment in the YouTube if you're watching YouTube. I believe sometimes you see this all the time in once you started to doing the self-development or spiritual work, you see so many misunderstanding about healing or so many misunderstanding about mindset. So many people try to make things complicated. And things like this just takes 5 minutes to shift your mindset. People don't believe that. Somehow we think in our head is that has to be everything complicated so you can heal better or something like that. That's absolutely BS. What I do, how I heal from depression to now, living so purpose-free and manifested in the freedom, time and the finance freedom is these simple, very simple mindset shift you do daily. So I teach clients either with a one-on-one coaching or using group coaching, all about me teaching you very simple mindset shift or very simple rewiring mind and new learning so you can start to creating life you truly want. So if that's something interesting you, please let me know in a comment or go into my website and check it out yourself. All right. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching YouTube and you enjoyed this video, please give me a likes and subscribe and hit the bell so you're not going to miss next episode. Thank you so much for watching and talk to you soon. Bye.